fast and loose with the team comps. They don't always go full meta. Sometimes they set the meta. But taking a look here at their team as they move out, it is going to be Debit on the Reinhardt, Kai on Winston, Surefour on the Reaper, Reaver on the 76. And Grego, the final wild card, what will he be on? Will he be giving us the Junkrat? And no, he's actually going Lucio, so they're running defensive Lucio, which you don't always see nowadays.
No, especially when you have all the confidence in the world in your single support in Adam, who plays a very evasive Mercy. So I thought we could have seen some Torb there out of Grego. They're going to play it pretty safe and standard here on defense. A lot is going to depend on if Reaver can get the positioning and all the damage done on his 76, which he has done in the past. He's a great Soldier 76. Offensively, though, trying to dislodge him is going to be Skag, who will be playing Pharah. Alora will be supporting Skag on that Mercy. Farine on the offensive Reaper. Virtus is going to be playing the Soldier 76. Nier is going to be playing the Lucio, and the Prophet on Reinhardt. So a single tank here, which is kind of newish.
Yep, single tank coming out here from the offense. I mean, we've seen people clutch on Reinhardt specifically in the past. It's not that unprecedented, but Say No More fam leading the way, moving forward pretty quickly here, not wasting a whole lot of time. Poke. Reinhardt can get right on top of this point. We'll see if it works out. As Reaver right now just laying all sorts of damage in this Reinhardt. The Prophet, though, found Grego, took him out the charge. Will go down in the process, but not the worst early pick coming out from Say No More fam.
Now, Virtus is in a really nice position here. You got that Soldier 76 up over to the top, so they're going to try to relocate, although they sniff it out and they're hunt him down to Kai. Ooh, Alora.
They're trading out really well here, Hex. Alora went down, though, so there's not going to be an offensive res. C9 is going to res their own. They're backing right back into this. 3 kills here for C9, but for a first attack, that wasn't too bad for Say No More fam. They got some of the kills they needed to get, and if they were able to get on Adam, I think it would have went very differently.
Yeah, Virtus got himself in a really nice position where you want your 76s up here on the platform that defense usually holds, and then you can kind of move them around here. But they did sniff it out, and Kai, he was able to chase him down. Alora went to go help him, unfortunately, and was able to, unfortunately killed by Kai over there too. Otherwise, that fight might go very differently.
So Surefour right now about to have a Death Blossom up, looking in the backline, gonna meet the charge of the Prophet. It said the Prophet drops a hammer, doesn't get a whole lot of value off that, but his charges have been on point here so far. Pick off members of C9 early in the fights. What better member to pick off than Surefour?
Yeah, Laura's got to be careful here. Got swatted to the top of the roof. Actually worked out well for her. Kai going straight crazy with his Primal Rage.
Adam almost went down there to start things out. Debit, big fire strike hits too. And we have a 76 who has lost his way. He's way in the back right now.
My ultimate is ready.
Getting chased down by Lucio of all people. Oh no, he runs around the Winston. He was blocking the door. He actually let him out, but he's gonna get taken out by a Reaver in the end. And that's what you don't want for an offense. If you're gonna die, everyone needs to die together. You don't want to stagger deaths because now they have to wait for the 76 to get back if they want to go in as 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge fight coming up here, too. They're just both are loaded up on ultimates. Only Kai used his earlier to cause some disruption in the back line on that Primal Rage, but they were going to have 100% on pretty much everything here.
Okay, we do the deposit down from Surefour. Surefour getting the back line, takes out 2, including Lucio, makes it a triple kill. Big res comes up, though, undoes all that damage, but hammer from Debit right there after the res, sets everyone up for C9 to just knock right down. Good defense coming out from C9, and they only have a minute 30 here remaining on their defense.
What does work out well for the offense, though, is that they died before they were able to pop their ultimates. Yes, Resurrection did come up, and Adam is going to have his Resurrection in turn, but they do still have everything going for him as far as the damage ultimates, and they have the Sound Barrier to initiate if they bite.
I've got you in my sights.
Alright, so Sound Barrier coming out here from the offense. The offense looking to make their play. The Prophet getting 2 kills. Famine coming in here, or Farnight coming in with the Death Blossom.
Oh, where's Adam?
Piling on. That's 5 kills here in favor of Say No More fam. Rez will come up here from C9, but Say No More fam is in a great spot. Farnine right now fighting off with Surefour. Not able to get the pick off he's looking for right away. Ends up getting taken out. 2 kills here for C9. And what an Earth Shatter from Debit. Knocks down 2. C9 coming right back into it. And Hex, they're going to hold after what was looking like a very good offensive attempt here from the side of Say No More fam.
Yeah, we'll see where Adam was hiding in the play of the game, I'm rather certain, because he just got a 5-man res. He was up top, knew that all he had to do in that fight was stay alive. Now, they almost had a shot at him as he tried to fly in to resurrect them, but unable to take down Adam. He's got Resurrection up yet again. They're going to switch into second Soldier 76. They've had good luck with that hero.
Surefour again, the Prophet. Debit with the big charge. Taking out 2 right now between the Fire Strike and the charge. 4 kills here for C9. And this is going to be at Say No More fam, going to get full held on point A. They did have one really good attack, though, Hex, where they had an opportunity.
Yeah, it's just that they were unable to find the Mercy there. I think maybe looking back on it, they would like to throw a Reaper in there, probably just to hang out with the Laura to keep that Mercy alive from the dives that Kai was doing on her.
Switching sides.
Alright, so we're going to switch sides. We say no more fam here on the defense, and they are going to have to hold for quite a while. It's going to be, for them, they have to hold for 4 whole minutes on point A to force a draw. If they do not do that, if they get capped at any point, it will be C9's map, and C9 will be up 1-0 here in the series.
Yeah, there were moments where they looked decent, though, but it's just, you got to kill the Mercy, and when the Mercy just will not expose herself, there's nothing you can really do about it, unless you're going to send a soldier all the way up back top here to really root it out. I suppose you could have, but you're not necessarily thinking about that as a #1 priority. You're thinking maybe Mercy will be on the ground. And, you know, a lot of these teams haven't played teams at this super high level where the Mercy will just not be in a place where you can kill her. She's not going to be flying around with the Pharah, not going to be on the ground healing people. She's just out of the fight. They're fighting with 5, and they know they're going to die because that's kind of the strategy that is at the highest levels of play. We'll see.
Alrighty, well, take a look here at the defense coming out from the side of Say No More Fam. It's going to be Skag on the Pharah, Alora on the Mercy, Nier on Lucio, the Prophet on Reinhardt, Farine on the Winston, and Virtus going to be on the 6. I gotta say, the Prophet had some really good moments in the last game.
Yeah, you always look for kind of that standout player, and he definitely was the one for them there. Offensively, they're going to run a couple tanks. That's going to be Debit on Reinhardt, Kai will flex onto the Zarya. Adam and Shortfor are going to run the combo, and Mercy and Pharah. And Grego is going to be playing Lucio. Reaver takes on the role of offensive Reaper. So Reaver on Reaper. Reaper.
So offensive C9 could be on the way. Sheriff4 definitely won the watch. He's had a very explosive Pharah, to say the least. One of the better Pharah players in the game. We'll see if he decides to open this up, but again, curious to see how the Prophet does here early on his Reinhardt, if he's able to continue getting those game-defining charges in the very beginning. But here comes speed boost from C9. C9 looking to put this away in a hurry. Sheriff4 getting right back. Just deletes Virtus immediately. Looking now for Mercy. Mercy running for her life. She is going to go down. That is a absolutely clutch double kill coming up from Sheriff4. And C9 might have won this before it even really began.
Well, no one dead for Cloud9. Nearly everyone dead for Say No More Fam.
Sheriff4 just carried that. He got 4 kills in the end. I started out with a double kill, got the triple, piled on at the very last moment, and that's going to be a very quick capture here coming out from C9.
Yeah, C9 takes that map decisively. Not much more to say about that. Short4 rocked it out there. Defense played well. Adam is going to take this play of the game. So he is hiding up top, I believe.
Skag saying that wasn't horns at all. What does that even mean?
Till Valhalla.
I'm trying to think, it's like, what is that even? Maybe I'm just not with it.
Yeah. If you don't understand it, I don't know why you would ask me. I've proven time and again I'm not with it or hip.
Hex wanting to take the title of most out of touch caster, and thank you for that, because normally I would be taking the title.
I'm fine with it. I'm in touch with Overwatch, so that's all that really matters. So it's going to be map choice for Say No More Fam. I wonder if they're going to try to take us to Nepal as well, as that is the only King of the Hill map in the pool. Generally, if you feel a bit outclassed by a team, you don't want to have to go into a payload situation. You try to cheese them out on Nepal, but a team like Cloud9 has proven that they're also pretty good at King of the Hill.
Fixing something here. At some point, our text got messed up, so you're going to see it just scroll right down. Now it's fixed. But Dorado will be in the next map, so it's actually not going to be Nepal.
All right.
Dream is real.
Maybe they got a strat here.
One would think. Dorado is a map where you can actually game plan a little bit more. There's a lot of different ways of approaching first. There's a lot of ways of approaching second and last. It's a map that is definitely complex. I think even to this day, teams haven't really fully explored all the possibilities on it.
It's certainly a team that, or a map that lends itself to different styles. You can run a lot of different things here. You could run your combo over the side. On defense, you can run a Bastion to great success. You can run a Symmetra if you want. We've seen Torb come out on this map from teams, even like Team Liquid has run a Torb on this map before. So you can run a lot of different things. You can try to cheese it out with a Bastion on first point. So there's a lot of different strategies. And if you feel you've got a very good Junkrat, also a phenomenal map for him. So we'll see what they want to run out here. You know, I think specifically there's a lot of good strategies on defense, but they're going to start off on offense first. I believe they're probably going to run this combo here. That would be a combo that you generally see on Dorado, the Mercy, and the Pharah.
Not just Dorado, I mean most maps here,
Yeah.
a lot of teams will run Mercy. Mercy's in everything right now just because of how game-defying her ult is, but Pharah, now that you're not always going up against Widowmaker and McCree, definitely used by more teams than not.
It's the ripple of the meta, is that Pharah is actually much more survivable than she used to be because you just don't see her counters out there as much.
Well, take a look here at the defense coming out from C9. It's going to be Debit on the Reinhardt, Adam on Mercy, Reaver on the 76, Kai on Roadhog, Sheer4 Gembi on the Tracer, and Grego rounding things out here on the Lucio.
Well, offensively, Virtus is on Hanzo now, and yeah, it used to be like there's no way he's going to run it, but Hanzo has definitely been played a lot more lately. Skag and Alora are going to be on the combo, taking to the skies in the Mercy and Pharah. Farine is on the Winston for now. The Prophet, I imagine he is their solid Reinhardt player. Nier is going to be on the Lucio, and Virtus does switch off onto the Soldier 76. The Soldier 76 no longer just a niche pick anymore. He is definitely just a solid hero, played in nearly every situation on every map.
And truth be told, even though heroes like McCree and Widow got nerfed, I don't think there's any reason for Soldier not to be played even in the past. He is incredibly good, and players are only going to get better at him as time goes on. I feel like as a hero where his skill cap is really yet to be touched. And the reason is that it's very precise hit-scan tracking that works out as Soldier, but if you land everything super well, you can just give people from long range, and very few players are at that level right now.
Absolutely. Virtus does take this position over on the left. They get in through the stairs, which are absolutely unguarded. Kai, that's kind of your thing over there, but Kai does make up for it by taking a hook onto Skag. There goes Alora for all intents and purposes, that pushes him.
Kai just going deeper in, finds Winston, takes him out immediately with the hook. We'll go down to Virtus, so it's not all gain there for C9, but Virtus now in a little bit of trouble. We'll see if C9 actually goes in on him. He's just staying back. He knows that he's outgunned. And Reaver might be challenging him anyways. Here they go. Sheer4 getting in on it. So is Adam. Adam firing the Mercy pistol, and it will actually get the kill. It's always rough times when Mercy feels like she's free enough to actually just take you down herself.
Yeah, it's a little bit painful. Sheer4 is up top on the roof here. He's got Pulse Bomb ready. He's going to wait to see those supports and just drop in.
All right, so we see Sheer4 right now just laying in damage from this top roof. And he's a great vantage point here to drop a Pulse Bomb as well. He's just going to wait for his opportunity. Finds the Mercy. That is his target. Might not even need the Pulse Bomb here. She's going so far deep. Oh my goodness, she followed Winston right to her own demise. She goes down immediately. 3 kills here for C9, and they're just piling on right now, Hex. I'm not sure what the offense did there. They just sort of ignored C9, dove on the cart, and they paid the price in a hurry.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the strategy was there, too. They didn't really have a... I think they were surprised that they met such little resistance on the way in, but then they just got collapsed on. Skag is going to have a high noon sometime here in the near future. Alora already does have that resurrection up. Sheer4 back on the rooftop.
C9 has great position here, and this is rough. For the side of Say No More Fam, they only have 1:45 to get through this. They don't have a lot of time. They need to make something happen, but they're just getting picked apart before they can even set up as Sheer4 gets to the back, takes out the Mercy. There will be no offensive res. And if they try and push through here, it's going to be a mistake. They just are completely outgunned in more ways than one.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's hanging out on the roof, and they have to be saying there's a Tracer behind us, then they're just ignoring it, but they also don't really have an answer. They don't have anyone get up there.
Backvisor comes out from Virtus, not able to get what he's looking for. The defense fully loaded in terms of ultimates, and the offense, they do have to just move. They are moving forward here on the payload. They do have their Mercy back in the fight. Earthshard comes down, knocks down Kai. The Prophet does land a little bit off of that. Take a look at Debit. Debit still has his Earthshard. He's going to drop it here in just a moment, and this payload is unprotected. Will he drop it right now? Takes out the Prophet first. 3 kills here from the side of Say No More Fam, so it's more than you would expect. Adam had to use res a little bit earlier, and there's still 2 people down.
Yeah, he missed him. This is going to be up for offense, too.
This is a great Earthshard opportunity if Debit wants to drop it right now. As Sheer4 got into the back line, took out 2, including the Mercy. There will be no Mercy reses here coming out from the offense. Debit does finally drop the Earthshard. Does not get as much as he wants, but the stick comes out from Sheer4, takes out Skag. And while they're looking at the payload, Sheer4 has just been surgically removing people in the back line.
Yeah, Debit gets a charge in there. They are making some progress on the cart, but I think it's going to be a little too late, as now the kill feed turns all blue as Cloud9 turns it on.
I feel like Debit probably held on to his wrist shot a little bit too long there. He had some opportunities that he probably gave up. Surefour, though, just being in the back unanswered, was able to get everything he needed to get. Takes out Allura here again. And for Mercy, I mean, that's, you're doomed either way. If you go on the point there, you lose. If you don't go on the point, you also lose.
Yeah, you kind of want to just die as early as possible there.
So 3 quick kills here from the side of C9. They're going to hold it in. Well played to them. And now, the thing here at the very least for the side of Say No More Fam is that distance matters. They did get it almost all the way to the end. So for them, it's effectively almost the same as a full first point hold. As far as distance goes. Still going to be very difficult against a team of the caliber of C9, though.
Yeah, they switched off of the Pharah early on, and that's when Surefour just decided he was going to hold that roof. And when he did that, they had nothing to contend with him. They just had no way to get up there and deal with him. They chose to ignore it, and he just picked that Mercy apart. I felt kind of bad for Allura at a certain point, because he didn't even use his pulse bomb several times when he had to, because he was just taking free damage from her from the rooftops. There was no contention. They said, well, I mean, if he's going to be back there, I guess let's just go forward, and then he would just eat up the back line. I mean, at some point you have to just get a Genji, Hanzo, anyone who can get up there, please. But they didn't. They chose to ignore him, and he made him pay the price for it.
The problem is for Tracer is that she's really good at deciding whether or not she wants to take an engagement. So even if they did put people going up there, Surefour would just be able to go back to the rest of his team and play Tracer there and go into the back line when they went in. So it's not necessarily a cure. But I agree, they probably had to do something to try and pressure Surefour, if nothing else.
Well, yeah, I mean,
though.
Someone's just got to get up there just to make him leave. You know, you can't just let him sit up there and then chase your Mercy down in the back line. That's obviously that is not the right tactic.
All right, so take a look here at the defense coming up from the side of Say No More Fam. It's going to be Allura on the Mercy, Farine on the Roadhog, Nier on Lucio, Skag on the Pharah, The Prophet on Reinhardt, and Virtus on Say 6. I still think The Prophet's had a pretty good series here thus far. I know things haven't really worked out for Say No More Fam, but he's been a bright spot in a team that has had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially on King's Row. I felt he was hitting all his charges, which is, you know, we've been seeing top-level Reinhardt's missed charges lately, too, so it's kind of refreshing to see. Offensively, they're not running anything really out of the ordinary. They're running triple tank in Reinhardt's, Zarya, and Roadhog. And Surefour and Adam will be in the combo. Drago's going to play Lucio.
And for C9, they know they can take their time a little bit here. They're not under any sort of huge pressure. They know they don't have to bring the cart very far, so I would expect them to be a little bit more patient, methodical in their poking. Now, if they see an opportunity, they're going to go in on immediately, but they don't really have to force the issue. They can just trust in the fact that they have really good DPS that can make opportunities. Surefour almost going down the concussive blast, saving it as Kai able to take out the Prophet. The Prophet goes a little bit too deep. Caster Curse unveiled. 2 quick kills here from C9, and if Surefour is able to get on the back of this Mercy, this could be over already. Mercy needs to live here. Mercy will give him the slip, at least for now. Allura, pretty good play coming out from him to stay alive. Will have res up sooner or later, but the hook coming in does not finish him.
Yeah, Surefour hit a couple mid-air shots on Skag, too, who was abandoned by his Mercy, trying to stay in the fight to keep her other teammates alive.
What a charge for Debit, taking the Prophet right out of there, not letting him get on top of the point. Will complete the kill, and Surefour, that last kill, should do it. C9 going to take this series 2-0. So, personally, I thought there were some pretty good moments coming out from Say No More Fam. I didn't think it was as huge of a stomp as might have been expected, but C9 definitely winning very definitively, able to win effectively on the first points of both King's Row and Dorado. And it is what you would expect coming out from C9, but I think for Say No More Fam, they can definitely look at this and have a few things hang their hat on and hope to come back stronger next week.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing Cloud9, you don't necessarily expect to win. You try to take some learning experiences out of it. I think they should have learned some things there. And like you said, there is a pretty nice bright spot in the Prophet. He definitely had a nice game. Is he level 216? Those
I believe
2 stars
so.
mean? Wow.
2 stars, 216. It's a lot of play.
So practice definitely pays off. As you can see there, as he was probably the best player on that squad, or at least had the best moments there. A lot of time put in the game for him. Cloud9 moves on, not surprising anyone.
Alrighty, so we're going to see who they're up against next, see if that game is ready. Some brackets are moving quicker than others here today, but that's to be expected. You'll have some matches that are just closer, go to 3, maybe more. Because the way things work, if you have a tie on a payload map, you can actually have 4 maps in the series. So there is a bit of variance here between a series like we just saw where C9 won relatively quickly versus a series where you go to 3 maps and then 1 ties and you go to a 4th.
Right. So we just have one more set here today, yes? We're going until the round of through the round of 16?
We're going through the round of 16, but if there's anything else that we can still pick up, we might have more than that.
Right.
Just depends.
I mean, I would not mind moving and watching Envious play Street Hoops, which is going to be in the round of 16.
Yeah, Envious right now, I'm going to see if they're in that. I would not mind going to that either.
Envious is, I think they're probably, they might still be in their game against the House. Street Hoops has already moved on. They beat Fantastic Six.
They are still in their game.
Okay.
But looking here from the C9 side, I don't know if C9's opponents are going to be ready anytime soon either. It's Wombo Combo versus Ubiquitous Phoenix. And by the way, Wombo Combo, a great name for an Overwatch team. The only way it'd be better is looking at their logo if they had a picture of Falco on it. Or like Falco with an X through it, that ain't Falco. But yeah, I would like to follow Street Hoops. So we'll see what's going on here. It does look like Envious is in game. So we have a little bit of time to fill while waiting. Hex, any surprises here today or anything going about the way you expected?
The only thing that really surprised me was just how One Shot got seated there against Envious. I mean, we don't think that One Shot is a top 2 team, but I think they're a top 10 team in North America. So having to face Envious in the round of 64 is a little rough for them, but they get some practice against Envious, and I think that One Shot will eventually make it through one of these qualifiers. I'd be a little surprised if they didn't. But it just kind of is tough for them. I don't see anything that's really surprising me just yet. I mean, Colorado Clutch losing that early is pretty rough. Gale Force has been moving on still. No, nothing surprised me just yet here. So everything's kind of holding to chalk as well. Northern Gaming is playing against Sody Pop right now. Luminosity has moved on. They're against Kingdom Esports. Luminosity might have to play Nubris, which would also be a great set, but that would be tomorrow, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, and there's a lot of good games shaping up for the round of 8 tomorrow. I'm definitely excited to see what goes on. Some of the best teams in the NA are fighting it out. FaZe, by the way, they will have to go through Selfless Gaming. They go through, and even though on paper you'd think that FaZe would win that matchup,
yeah,
Selfless has been in the game for a long time. They have revamped their roster, and I feel like FaZe has been playing pretty darn weak as of late, so if Selfless was able to upset FaZe, I would not be that surprised.
Yeah, not only have they been playing kind of weak, but they play a little weird, in my opinion. I think they're trying out a lot of new stuff. They want to be innovators. They want to be the team that's running stuff that's not necessarily the pure meta, that's not the most standard 2-2-2, tank support, things like that. So they were one of the few teams to run a Zenyatta at the Josh OG tournament, so it didn't work out for them. They got kind of pretty easily beaten at the Josh OG tournament, so I think they're trying out a lot of new stuff, so they have my respect for that, but they might actually be in for it against Selfless.
Yeah, that's one of those things where FaZe definitely was a little bit disappointing. They were sort of the big reveal, right? Is that, okay, we have a brand new team that we're going to announce just coming in for the Josh OG tournament. It is FaZe. And FaZe just got rolled out on a rail. I mean, they were thrown out with authority.
They got rolled out of your matches, and then I got them in the lower bracket. They got rolled out of my lower bracket pretty quickly, too. But like I said, they were trying new stuff, which, I admire. I think it's good. The game needs some new things into it, so they have my respect there, but they could be given everything that they're ready for against Selfless. I do expect FaZe to move on, though. I think the talent is just too high there.
And so right now we're keeping an eye on the matches. We will flip to the next match we can go to. A lot of round of 16 matches are simply not ready just yet. For us, we are eyeing to see Envious versus Street Hoops. I think that'll be a pretty darn good game. Street Hoops has been a dark horse as of late, but going against Envy, that's rough. That's going against the true raid boss of Overwatch right now. They have been dominant over effectively every other team in the last few weeks. They have been the juggernaut to beat. And they're also the first team that's in a team house, so they have that extra coordination going for them as well. So for Envy, they've been firing on all cylinders. They are tough to beat.
Yeah, I think Street Hoops might give them a game or two, though. I just kind of want to see where Street Hoops is at, because we saw them earlier in some tournaments a couple weeks ago, and they look pretty good. And they're also just old TF2 veterans as well. I mean, Duwatna's on this squad, so is Shrugger. So if at a certain point they're able to take them to King of the Hill, which is historically one of Envious's worst game modes overall, I mean, maybe not as of late, but I mean, they've got some good DPS players on this Street Hoops squad that could give them a little trouble.
So I'm just sitting here refreshing my friends list at a rapid rate going, okay, Time Moon Tailspin, are you guys getting out of game? Because who knows how late their series started. We might be able to get on the second game of that series if they're just on game 1. My guess is that they're on game 2 and they should be ready to play Street Hoops sooner rather than later, but you never know. Just how Overwatch goes sometimes while waiting for games to start. Sometimes overwait, sometimes overtalk. And very rarely, sometimes overwatch.
That's not necessarily true. There's a lot of times where we're just in game after game after game.
True.
So just kind of a rarity of how the format's working. We have to wait for teams to catch up here and there, and then we're trying to get good sets for you guys. But we do appreciate you sticking with us.
Yeah, it also depends if you're doing an invitational tournament or an open tournament. Open tournaments can last a little bit longer just because you do have such a variety in regards to what parts of the bracket are taking longer and what parts of the bracket are going by relatively quickly. That's a great team name, though. The team that Envy is up against, The House. Just The House.
Gotta bring the house.
I mean, if you're up in Vegas, you would expect the house to win.
Oh, yeah, the house always wins. But that is actually clever. I totally missed that.
Yeah, you can just say, well, we're the house. We always win. But against Envy, I think Envious might beat those odds. We'll just have to see.
Also, a very food-based theme on that roster. They have a player named Joey Ravioli and a player named Papa John. All right.
Mentioning food midcast, Hex, that is a sin. Both of us are probably hungry right now, and now you've just reminded us that we're not going to get to eat for probably another hour or two yet here to go, so thank you, Hex. Ravioli, man. That just brings me back to the good old days where, remember the Chef Boyardee ravioli cans?
I do.
So you did have a little bit of a childhood.
Yeah, I mean, I had a fine childhood. I just didn't watch Pokemon and anime. I played baseball and Halo.
Didn't watch DBZ, didn't play Pokemon. Come on, man.
Sorry, I played different games, I guess. I don't know, man.
What games did you play?
Like I said, I played Halo. Halo was fun. I guess I wasn't really a child then, though. I was like super childhood. I played like Super Mario Brothers. I had a Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis. Played Sonic the Hedgehog.
Did you beat Super Mario World?
Yeah. You know, my favorite game actually as a kid, I was very young, was Road Rash. Road Rash for Sega Genesis was probably like
I remember that game. That was like the Genesis game.
Yeah. Now there's talk that they were coming out with a new one. It's like Road Redemption. It's kind of an indie project.
Oh, no.
I got to check that out because Road Rash was the best. I even played it on the 3DO. Do you remember the 3DO? That game system?
Oh man, I remember 3DO and the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
The incredibly expensive things that no parent in their right mind would actually buy.
Right. So no, my brother worked at Babbage's. He's much older than me, but that's when Babbage's was still around. So they used to let him, like, well, I don't know if they let him, but he'd always borrow hardware from them, and we got to rent a 3DO for the weekend. They had a version of Road Rash for the 3DO that was awesome. Had like full cinematics on it, and then like a whole soundtrack done both by like bands like Clutch and Soundgarden. Oh man, I miss Road Rash now. That was great.
So, yeah, you can't remake those games. Anytime you remake those games, it turns out terrible.
Well, my favorite game of all time was the original XCOM that you booted into from DOS. And they remade XCOM, and they didn't flub it too badly. So there is hope.
All right, guys, so sorry for all the overtalk. Should be getting the game soon. Just waiting here for the next game, whether it be us following C9 again or going to Envy. I think the Envy game will be ready soon. It should be a better game. Street Hoops is a bigger contender. So just waiting for them to get through their game, and we'll be into it pretty shortly.
I get little info here from chat or not. I clearly can't vet it, so I have to let people know that it's from chat. But I guess Street Hoops just added to the roster, YEHHH, who's been on top teams previously and has a huge resume in esports. I'll have to look him up on Wikipedia, I suppose, or something along those lines. And the person mentioning this to me says since adding him, they've been beating people rather convincingly. So good for, I mean, we've seen the impact one player can have on a team, and if this guy's as good as they think he is, then that'd be awesome.
There has been so many instances right now where you add one player to a team, you make one switch up, and the team goes way better. For LG, it was 2 players. They added Pooks and Gods onto the roster. Right. They started doing really well. For other games, for example, or for other teams like NG Red, they add Bird to the roster. They start doing really well. Or Team Liquid, where they just do a switch up. Zoms and Vonathil end up out. Minstrel and ID end up in. It wasn't even kicked. Zoms and Vonathil left on their own accord, but Team Liquid is much stronger with Minstrel and ID by comparison.
Yeah, then you think about maybe Dot on one shot. You think about maybe Harblue even on Gale Force, although that's kind of a rocky relationship, to say it best. But I think they have to be happy with what they're getting out of him now. So it's just kind of the ripples, too. I mean, I think you don't really understand how important it is until those ripples start playing their way through. But it's not just because Gods is a great player that LG got better. It opens things up. Now Seagull can play the heroes he wants to. Enigma can play the heroes he wants to. And in a meta that you need 3 to 4 even DPS players, it's really important that you can have those deep hero pools.
All right, so we are getting the Envious right now. They're actually still in the round of 64. So they've been waiting. Or no, sorry, they're still in the round of 32. They're up against the House. So we're going to reflect this here. We're going to get right into it because why not?
Yeah, Joey Ravioli and Papa John in the House.
Now we're going to be making food puns the entire stream.
Yeah, but
I hope Chad is happy.
They're in the House. Also, look at this coordination through their player icons. I think it's the first team I've ever seen completely
They have the full coordination.
Yeah, well done.
I'm not exactly sure why that. I mean, it doesn't really look like a house. It's just it's a training droid.
Yeah, it's Wally. It's Cyclops Wally. We are going to Dorado. Cool.
Envious versus the House. We are going into it. Letting them know we are ready. And Envy did win the first map, so Envy is up 1-0 right now versus the House.
Yeah, then we'll probably just follow them against Street Hoops. I mean, that's...
Yeah, we're going to stay with it. No
premier
reason not to stay with
matchup.
them.
As long as none of Envious is in the restroom right now, which seems to be their theme in tournaments.
Alrighty, so getting all this up, but we should be good to go in a moment. We let them know that we are ready, so should be just a second. It will be Envious on the defense first, and the House on the attack. I feel like that you always have the emphasis on the House. It sounds cooler that way.
The House, yeah.
There's also some players with names like that, like you have the Jeffrey. Not Jeffrey, but the Jeffrey.
I know, I tried to call him Jeffrey in one game, and you soundly corrected me.
I mean, you got his name wrong. It is the Jeffrey.
I guess we did call him the Prophet, not just Prophet, so...
Exactly.
Fair play.
Alrighty, so we are loading in. Dorado will be the second map here. That is the choice of the House. And we'll see if they'll have a little bit more luck here than they did on map number 1, which was King's Row. So obviously, for those who are just tuning in, this is Envious. They have been, in many people's eyes, the #1 team in the game at the moment. They've had a very good track record as of late. As a team, they won something like over $22,000 in 1 week, just a little bit ago. So it was actually pretty ridiculous between the Alienware Monthly Melee, Josh OG Tournament, and Onog. So they've had themselves some pretty good weeks.
That's a pretty solid week. It looks like they are going to be running the Symmetra on defense. For those of you who are kind of new to Overwatch, that's the reason they have all these Lucios. You got to get the Symmetra out as quickly as possible, so you're going to speed boost her a couple times. Those Lucios are going to go back and change at spawn. But Hulk gets here as fast as possible, able to get down 6 sentries rather than just 3. So it's a small detail, but it means the world, especially when you're getting charge off those sentries to get the teleporter up. Internet Hulk plays a phenomenal Symmetra. He'll be running that here today. Taimu is going to play the defensive Roadhog. Harry Hook on defensive 76. Chips on Mercy. Tailspin will be playing the Junkrat and Coco and good old Reinhardt.
I gotta say, by the way, that the House is already a huge fan favorite of the chat right now. Everyone is saying, the House! So for them, their name definitely getting some followers, but take a look here at the House as they sub here on the offense. The Hanzos will be going away. It's going to be Papa John here on the Pharah, Parkster on Lucio, Koriski on the 76, Classics on Reinhardt, Hadet on Mercy, and Joey Ravioli going to be on the Roadhog. What a day. It's not just Joey. Joey Ravioli.
One of the reasons Envious is so strong is that their supports can flex onto different heroes that a lot of teams don't have the supports who can do that. Harry Hook is a phenomenal Lucio. He's also in my list of like the top 5 Soldier 76s.
And Joey Ravioli going right in here, landing shot after shot. Not quite able to take out Taimu, but did come close. Internet Hulk getting the kill in the Class X, though, building his teleporter almost entirely. That's going to be such a quick teleporter from the side of Envy.
He's gonna have it.
That's really, really rough here. That's not what you want to give up as an offense. If you give the Symmetra that much power, getting through the teleporter right after is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's put in a kind of a less defensive spot than normal, but a lot of teams don't check back here anymore, so it's kind of knowing where teams are looking and not looking for the teleporter. Little mind games from Internet Hulk on his placement there.
Well, one thing I do like here, at least from the side of Envy, is that they are still running the Junkrat. Tailspin, one of the few people to keep him in play here on Dorado. And his Junkrat is great. He is an absolute force to be reckoned with, one of the more beastlier Junkrats in the game. And we'll see if he has a tire coming out here in just a moment, as Envy just completely loaded on ultimates right now.
Yeah, I think it's Tailspin and Seagull keeping the Junkrat alive on Dorado, and I don't know why teams aren't copying that, because if you're looking for Overwatch idols, Tailspin and Seagull would be at the top of my list.
Big Earth Shatter coming down here from the side of Coco, setting up the defense. Soundbear has to come up just to deal with it. And they're not going to get anything up that Soundbear. Oh my god, the tire comes from the back! Tailspin taking out 3! Fire was in the hole, and oh my goodness. Soundbear fades, tire goes in. Tailspin piling on with a little bit extra. It's going to be a 4K for Tailspin and a full team wipe in favor of Envy. I don't think we got that on the camera, but at the very least, that will be play of the game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we will see a replay of that at some point, very likely. The hook does come down on Harry Hook, ironically enough. He's able to escape.
Harry Hook able to get right out of there. Harry Hook being a little bit aggro on 76, but we have seen soldiers get a little bit more comfortable with how far they can poke in while getting out, using sprint to their advantage.
Yeah.
Looking for the right opportunity. And look at timing right now, just laying in shot after shot on this Roadhog over the top. Almost breaks the Reinhardt shield out, right? And this is a multiple threat defense coming out here from Envy. Taimu is a huge threat, Tailspin is a huge threat, and Harry Hook, easy to forget about, but his 76 play has been nothing but sterling.
To be able to flex your Lucio main onto a Soldier 76 is absolutely invaluable. It's one of the luxuries of this Envious roster. Hulk gets caught out, though, and killed. Here comes the Whole Hog after it.
Whole Hog versus Whole Hog. Everyone's getting knocked back. Papa John comes in over the top with the barrage, gets the double kill. Only problem here is that Chipson's going to walk right forward, gets the triple res. Might get taken out by Joey Ravioli here in just a moment, but the offense really making their moment here. They drop an Earth Shatter. They're not able to get the biggest fall-up that they want as the defense, just able to swarm right back in after that res.
Yeah, nice attempt there, though. After they got a couple key picks, they knew they had 5v6 going on, so they barrage over the top. Nice kills there. They had the Resurrection ready, so everything was coordinated pretty well, just unable to follow up and win the fight after the Resurrection. So they got it about 50% done, just not able to complete that push for the offense.
Tailspin right now super content to keep throwing in every shot here on the Junkrat. And the offense here, they have to do something. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of ults, but they need to somehow get a pick, somehow turn this in their favor, because time is not on their side. 2 quick kills here from the defense. So Harry Hook just laying in the damage once again, able to take out both Papa John and Joey. And just like that, Envious should have this. They do have a few people in the back trying to be a distraction. This Tracer, though, going to go down. Chips actually pistols him down. If nothing else, the offense right now is very organized. They're not coordinated the way they need to be, as Harry Hook just runs in. Rifle Butts at it. I gotta say, Envy looking pretty good right now.
They do look like probably the best team in all of Overwatch. The offense continues to stall out. That should be the end of it, though, but they are running Tracers and Winstons to try to get onto this cart.
Oh, the tire comes in at the very end just to make sure. Takes out not 1, but 2 Tracers.
Complete.
I gotta say, Envy doing normal Envy things.
Score 0-0.
So for the house to defend here, don't forget, it's not just defending at the first checkpoint. It is on pure distance, which means that they have to defend even further up Hex. And unless I'm mistaken, they really did not get the card all that far. In fact, here is where the payload marker is. So for Envy, they don't even really need to get in the courtyard. They just need to have a good rush right at the archway.
Yeah, it puts the defense in an even worse position than normal. The defense is going to run a very similar looking composition to what Envious just ran on defense anyway. It looks like they are going to run a Symmetra and a Junkrat, so if you can't beat them, join them. Actually surprises me that teams have gotten away from the Junkrat. I think it maybe just rosters are not attuned to it or really don't like it, but the top teams in North America are still running this Junkrat on defense, especially on Dorado.
I think Junkrat is great to be running on defense. It is really good. It controls a lot of space, and the tire is probably a little bit underrated as well. There's so many times where a tire will just go in, get 1 to 2 people, and even if it's just 1 person, that's a huge deal. That makes it so much harder for the offense to actually get done what they need to get done.
Yeah.
Either way, though, looking here at the offense as it sets up here for Envy, it's going to be Internet Hulk on the Winston. Tailspin and Taimu and a pair of Pharahs. We have not seen double Pharah pretty much ever. Internet Hulk actually decided to swap up on the Zarya. Chips will be on the Mercy. Coco on another Zarya. So is this going to be a new form of 2-2-2? Double Zarya, double Pharah, double Mercy? This actually could be incredibly powerful.
It's really cool. When we were talking about how like we were going to go away from one hero land, I'm like, actually, I really want to see a couple Pharahs because I think it could work out really well. Now, I envisioned it with a single Mercy just playing God mode back and forth between the two, but this is going to be so squad-based. They're each going to have their own shield. They're each going to have their own Pharah.
This is actually incredibly scary. I'm surprised we haven't seen this 2-2 comp before because Pharah, when supported by Mercy and buffed by Zarya, is incredibly scary, and they have 2 of this combination. Yeah, Tailspin going to get first kill of the game, gets in on Joey Ravioli, picks up the kill in the Corey. I don't know why the defense is holding this far up. I get that the payload marker is up far up, but even still, as Tailspin getting the triple kill, just getting all the kills he needs right now, totally untouched.
Let's move.
And the right time on the fair as well, but for now, Tailspin definitely getting more kills of the 2. Sorry, it's not long for this world.
Yeah, they're just cleaning up right now. Now, unfortunately, the Symmetra did just die, so they're not going to be able to reinforce this. The Mercy had died earlier. Yeah, it's looking pretty rough.
This is going to be GG for Envious in the biggest of ways. Tailspin just carrying, getting all sorts of kills in the beginning, and really there wasn't too much that the house could do. Envy just able to roll right through, exerting their dominance, and Tailspin showing why he's one of the better Pharahs in the game. And here's the tire that we missed. Right. We're getting that instant replay. What's the thing I'd say? It might not even be a tire. I'd take it back. There's just Tailspin damage boosting, getting all sorts of kills because why not? Just Tailspin things.
Pretty nice demonstration of the entire kit.
So we're not going to be wasting any time here. We're going right in the round of 16. Envious versus Street Hoops will be heading your way, and that should be a good game.
Yeah, I really want to see this new Street Hoops roster. I've only seen them a couple times. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, and they looked really good. There's a lot of names that I recognize from high-level TF2. As I mentioned, Duwatna and Shrugger played at, I think, Invite level 6s, Platinum level, Highlander 6s, whatever. I mean, just the very upper echelon of TF2. And I think they've added someone else to the roster. We'll have to see what that looks like as well. And apparently they've been beating teams pretty handily. But, I mean, let's see if they can show up against Envious. I don't think they have to beat them. They don't have to take a map. But if they can look a little better than most teams do against Envious, then I'll give them a ton of credit.